Welcome back to Cut the Cuck. I'm Byron. That fool over there is Chad. It's the final round of the Rugby Championship. Perth gets the farewell for James Slipper. Twickenham gets the Boks versus the Pumas under those London lights. The Rugby Championship title is going down to the wire. If you like drama with your droevorst, you've come to the right pub. Chad, let's cut the cuck.
Let's cut the cuck. How's it, Byron? How you doing?
Chad, I am a very happy sailor. Other sports results didn't really go my way this weekend. They actually went poorly for me yesterday as well. Liverpool lost in the Champions League. But I think the news that you shared with me, goodness, was it Monday about Bafana Bafana losing the 3 points against Lesotho? That was a big downer because I was so excited about South Africa or Bafana Bafana qualifying for a World Cup for the first time since '98. Obviously, we were there in 2010, but we were the hosts. But now we're no longer top of the group because we put out on the field an ineligible player due to a suspension. And I believe we originally beat Lesotho 3-0. But now the results reversed. It's a 3-0 win for Lesotho because we played with an ineligible player. And it's heartbreaking. But we're actually here to talk about good shit. We're here to talk about the Springboks and what happened in that second half and the incredible performance from Sasha Feinberg and Zulu. So before I get your opinion on that, I saw a brilliant meme from, I think it was from a Kiwi rugby page. And they said, can we ask the South Africans to put out a tutorial on how to say Sasha's full name properly?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're going to be saying it a lot over the next few years.
Yeah, I saw a lot. There's been so much of that from Oaks over in the UK and over here and Oz too. Yeah, it's they're just calling it SFM.
Oh gosh, no, that doesn't work. Sasha, Feinberg, Ngomezulu, like pick one of the three, but not the letters. Don't. I hate that. Like when they did for Sonny Bill Williams, they called him SBW. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
No. But let's stop talking about his name and what he's done, what he did.
Oh man.
But we were watching the game together.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I'm based in the Netherlands. Chad's in New Zealand. And we don't usually watch a lot of rugby together. We talk a lot of shit about rugby. We don't actually get to watch the rugby together. And it was actually quite a lot of fun on Saturday getting to watch the game together. It was sick.
It was good.
Thanks, internet and technology for that one.
Yeah, good. But yeah, that's... I'll touch. I want to talk about that game, but I want to talk about the second half first and the first half second.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
That second half was just incredible. We came out absolute. Everything that Sasha was touching was just turning to gold.
Yeah.
That cross kick that he hit to Colby on pace was. You could not.
And that was just to start the half. That was letting everybody know how good it's going to get.
And then his other try when he scooped it into space and then picked it up himself, scored himself.
Yeah. Kind of told Kane and Moody, hold off, this one's mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. So I rewatched the game, and I noticed a couple different things. For him to have seen that space, because obviously, and that wasn't all just Sasha being great. There was also a little bit of poor defense by Argentina because the fullback was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, there was so much space. There was an unrealistic amount of space for a game of rugby.
Yeah, and for Sasha to look up, spot that space, kick it, but then also to just put the gas down and get there and out sprint Moody, who was on the wing, used to be a winger, is just incredible. He's going to be a problem.
I think the best part of that whole try was the pickup.
Yeah, when you're saying
the back off was cool, but the at pace to bend down, and it didn't bounce up kindly.
No.
You know, it's almost easier to knock that ball on than it would have been to score the try.
I reckon if I try to pick up one of those balls stationary, I'd probably fall over.
Never mind at full pace.
I don't even think I could reach full pace anymore. I'd pull both my hamstrings. It should be
Even if you reach full pace, you're only going half as fast as what he was going.
Yeah, but it was crazy. Even that cross kick. If you go and watch the highlights of that one, before Sasha kicks it through to Colby, Damien's actually asking him for the up and under, and he runs behind Damien and then spots Colby and kicks it straight to Colby. It's a good one for that. It's
wow,
crazy.
I definitely didn't pick that up. But that's also, I wonder if that maybe played a part in it, because if the defense was watching Williams calling for the up and under, then they would have dropped into space for that ball. But instead, he switched it up last minute and kicked off to the wing.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. But yeah, it was. He's really, really
I
good.
mean, at that level, you only need to buy yourself half a second to get that space you need.
It's been quite interesting to hear the Kiwis and the English all talk about Sasha and say that he's this amazing thing, and he's the next Dan Carter is what they're saying over here. It's big call, but then there's also like things guys saying, "Oh no, he's got to back it up. He's got to be consistent. He's got to be this, got to be that." The man just broke a record, scored 37 points by himself.
Yeah. I give it even if I actually really liked what Rusty said about him. I have no idea when they had the interview, but I only saw it today on Instagram, where he said, you know, he's now put a lot of pressure on himself to do well, and he's been picked for the game. Rusty said he would have preferred to have Pollard, but because of the travel and that sort of thing, and also how well he's done, he does deserve the opportunity to start again. But Rusty said it's good for him to be in this position at like this stage of his career, and if he does back it up, that's fantastic, because now like he's really setting himself up to become this phenom sort of thing. But Rusty said even if he doesn't do well, that's also a good thing, because it kind of lets him know about, you know, how well this game can go for you, but also how quickly it can turn. And I think for like the longevity of a professional to remain at that high level, I think it's important to experience both. I mean, for him, he's kind of experienced the high of the high, because he just broke the individual point scoring record for the Springboks. I would say the only thing bigger than that would be to do that in like a World Cup final. But essentially, he did it in like a Rugby Championship decider. And if I'm not mistaken, if the results go our way this weekend, it's going to be the first time in a really long time where we've won back-to-back Rugby Championships.
I think it's the first time ever. I don't think there's another one. You can tell us if we're wrong. You guys always do.
Yeah. Someone smarter than us. Tell us if we're some rugby historian will know, or someone.
But Sasha's dealt with that in with the Stormers before, where he's had absolute cracker games and then followed up by like a game with a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So he's dealt that, but it's a bit different when it's international rugby, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, there's just more eyeballs on you. There's more pressure. The opposition's better, you know.
Stoked to have him. Happy he's playing for us and not for anyone else. I wouldn't want to play against him. I can tell you that.
I know. I can only imagine. Like, that's how I felt when Richie Mwanga was playing for the All Blacks. Like, you don't know what he's going to do, but whatever he does, it's fantastic.
Works. Yeah.
Yeah. If he kicks for touch, it always lands where it needs to land. If he's kicking it up and under, it's usually falling into an All Blacks player's hands. If he's running with the ball, he normally breaks the first line. He's got these incredible, and like watching that, and I was like, I was actually really glad that New Zealand have their selection laws the way that they have them, so that Richie Mwanga is not playing for them.
Speaking of it, how good would it be to watch both of them go at it?
I just hope it wouldn't be at a Rugby World Cup final.
Could be. It very well could be.
Oh, I don't know, because it would be so good to watch, have like those high stakes with such great players in
Yeah,
those roles.
maybe they don't do the Rugby World Cup final. I think you're right. I think we'll both be bald by the end of that game. But maybe do it in like a warm-up game.
Yeah, something that has, something where we can enjoy the game, and if the result doesn't go our way, we don't have to, contemplate negative things.
I like it. We'll I'll contact Rusty, see if we can
arrange a friendly with the All Blacks. But then also we know how fantastic the second half was, not just for Sasha, but for the whole team. Defense was fantastic. We all know that we scored a shit ton of tries in the second half. But I wanna hear from you. What were your thoughts about Sasha's response to the end of the first half when we had that crazy situation with Colby? And when we were watching it, I called it. I said something weird just happened. I think it's a try for Argentina. And that was when the camera was like doing some other weird thing. I saw Colby put it on the floor and drop kick it from behind the line. And then the camera went away, but then there was a weird noise in the crowd, and I knew something happened.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, Sasha went and scored. Mm-hmm. And then there was the yellow card to Malcolm Marx for the professional foul coming directly and then collapsing them all. As soon as it happened, everyone was like hoo-haing about the penalty and the penalty try. Sasha's first question, at least from what I could see, to the ref was, do we have enough time for a kickoff?
Yeah.
And from that kickoff, everyone's mentality was, we're getting this fucking try back.
Yeah. Because we went up half of that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we won it. It was you hear a lot about it in professional sports, momentum being such an important thing. I wonder how important it was for the team to go back into the sheds, getting that try back. It was cool. Really cool to watch from a youngster, I guess you can call him.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm looking at this week's game, but everybody in that second half had good ones. Peter Steff had a fucking great game. Willemse had a great game. Yeah, everyone had a.
It was crazy to have Deerlinde and Willemse both on the field because they've obviously both got skill. I think Willemse might have a bit more versatility, but they're both such strong runners. So to have that like inside center line from your fullback and from your inside center, I'd hate to be Argentinian shoulders.
Yeah. And I was telling the missus, they left not even 12 hours after that game. Can you imagine playing to get on a plane to fly to London? Can you imagine how
and then
that must be?
We've had that conversation before about those behemoths on a plane. But now like you said, it was less than 12 hours after. I mean, the Argentinians are so physical.
Yeah.
You play this hard game of rugby. You shower it off, have a couple beers, go home, take your nap. Back to the airport, baby. We're off. That's harsh. But then I heard Rusty say they got all of Monday off. So they had Sunday for travel, they had Monday off, and then Tuesday they went back to training.
Yeah, which is fair.
But it's so hard.
Yeah. No.
The benefit though is there's only a 1 hour time difference. So it's not like they had to fly from Australia or New Zealand to England.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's at Twickenham and they didn't fly to Argentina?
Argentina's decided to have the game at Twickenham. I don't know.
I mean,
It was, I think
for
it was their call.
do you think it was a travel thing?
It could be. I mean, they've done it before. I mean,
See, but
they've
that
never won doing it before, but
well, that's what I was going to say. I know they've done it before. Do you think they're starting to realize like it's just maybe it's a few hours too far
yeah.
for
I
that
mean,
1 week?
probably, yeah. Because that's a bit. What's the time difference between South Africa and them?
Nah, it's a lot more than 1 hour. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. No, that was a rock solid second off. But that's what we've been doing. Like we did the same
5
against
hours.
five.
Just so
Yeah.
yeah.
Shame.
Shame.
So that's what we've done 2 weeks, not back to back, but 2 weeks in a row for the Rugby Championship. Is that to have an absolutely cracker second half. I wonder how much of that is our forwards being so physical and just not just the
Just
forwards, the
beating
whole
them
team
down
being,
over the 80 minutes. Yeah.
and then coming out with a bang. Or if Russie is just saying unspeakable things to them in the change room at halftime.
We think that, but then when you watch Chasing the Sun,
Yeah.
those inspirational halftime talks seem like they come more so from the players than from the coach.
Hmm.
But I also feel like when Rassie, again, this is just from the information we got from Chasing the Sun. They could have left a lot out. It seems more inspirational than like an angry dad coming home from the farm and just starting to give everyone some feedback. But then we haven't even touched yet on the Australia New Zealand game in
Well, let's
Wellington.
first go to that first half of our game. I want to talk
Okay,
about that
tell me
because
what's on your mind, Chad. Let's hear
I
it.
was so frustrated at the calls from old Angus. I don't know.
You
It was
you
doing my
said
absolute.
something. Wait, go ahead.
No, it was just doing my head in. Like the Oak couldn't make a decision at all. It was just like I don't know. It was just really, really frustrating. I don't want to be shitting on the referee, but man, it was
So you
very
said
difficult to
something
watch.
at the beginning of that game about the ref, and I thought you were just being you and you were using it as a hyperbole. And you said, it was perfect. You said this referee doesn't make his own calls; he waits for the TMO. And I said, oh, okay, whatever, maybe one or two calls. When you said that, I think the game was like 6 or 7 minutes in. From the moment you said it, I think it was the next 5 calls in a row where he didn't blow his whistle. The game went on. We all shouted, "The fuck was that? Was a knock on or an offside or whatever the call was?" He didn't call it. The game went on 20 seconds. Then he blows his whistle. TMO says it was this. I was like, okay, one off. Chad was right. He's never right more than once. Happened again. I think it was on the first time. During the game, I even told you, I was like, Chad, I didn't believe you, but he doesn't make his own calls.
No, it was rough. That first half was pretty. He used to be like it all the time. I just fucking hate it, but got a lot better. But kind of, I don't know what happened. He reset to default, and
It was so. I
yeah,
mean, I think it obviously the sample size that I'm talking about was just the beginning of the game. The refereeing was it got better as the game went on. I would say.
yeah,
Um, but I thought it was so interesting because we've had conversations on this pod before about TMOs getting too involved or TMOs
yeah,
not being involved enough. And then you got that game from this weekend, and it was like, you didn't even need a ref on the field. You just needed a whistle on the stadium speaker. And then when
yeah,
the TMO sees something, you just let the whistle go off with the
yeah,
announcement, and then the game they'll say penalty 5 meter line, South Africa offside, and then the game can go on because it was wild to see.
yeah, yeah. It was yeah. That's my only gripe with the first half. It was typical Test match rugby: kick, kick, kick. get your points.
Until the last 7 minutes of the first half, we had that Colby incident.
Assist.
And what I thought was so amazing about that whole mistake is there had to be so many things to go wrong for the Springboks and so many things go right for the Pumas in order for that try to count. Because from what I've learned is the goal line dropout doesn't have the same rules as the 22-meter line dropout. When you drop out from the goal line, it has to go past the 5 before you can touch it. So when that ball bounced off the post, there were Argentinian players within the 5 and within the try line. They couldn't touch the ball. But the guy who picked it up was on the right side of the 5-meter line. It bounced over the 5-meter line as he was picking it up and then scored the try.
Yeah.
If he was half a step closer, the try wouldn't have counted.
Yeah.
It was a comical bunch of errors. And I also think
very funny.
You said it. Colby takes a lot of the stuff very personally. And you could see it on his face. There was a little bit of disbelief, this isn't happening kind of thing. And then another part where he was like, please don't give the try. I can't deal with this.
Yeah. No, it's rough. I think it was your brother that said that, not me.
Oh, it was my brother. Well, we don't no one likes that guy, so.
But yeah, no, that was cooked. But he came back. I mean, all the amazing things Colby's done for the Springboks, I think.
And then he scores the try at the beginning of the second half. No, you can't be mad at him. Now, if it was against New Zealand at Wellington and we lost by 5 points, I think the rest of the world would have been all over Colby, and it would have been all over the headlines, and everyone would be talking about it. But we landed up winning by, what was the final score? We landed up winning by 37 points. So we would have won by 44 points.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I know you can't really do that math because if you score and don't score, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so it didn't change anything. So it's not a big news headline. But I think if the game was closer or the result was reversed, it would have been a pretty big problem.
Yeah. That was rough.
I can't believe it happened. I also don't know what was the thought process. It looked like he was passing the ball to Willemse.
Yeah, he was trying to. All he was trying to do. It's like that's what you do in training. You pass the ball, kick the ball.
Yeah, you drop the ball, you practice your drop kick. Exactly. And you only need it to go a certain distance. So you don't need to punt it. You can drop kick it.
Yeah. So I think it was just absolute. He was in his comfort zone. He felt comfortable. Get the ball there, doing the motions, and then
bounce off the post, go past the 5-meter, and just so happens an Argentinian catches it and falls over the line.
Yeah, it's rough. I heard Victor Matfield on their podcast saying that it probably shouldn't have been allowed because just in the spirit of the game, technically, yes, try, but in the spirit of the game, not. But I was like,
I don't like that spirit of the game argument.
No, I get it sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with Victor on that one, but yeah.
No, it's a mistake. They capitalized on it, and I think that the try should stand. We made the mistake.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I'm with you.
If you've got a defensive scrum, and you give the scrummy passes the ball back to the fly half, and he tries to clear the ball, and it bounces off the post when he kicks it out, and then the other team scores, they're going to go, oh, that's not in the spirit of the game. And it's like, no, your fly half fucked up. It's not how we took advantage of your fuck up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Great game. The more I think about it, the happier it makes me. And
we'll talk about if they can back it up in London later.
But wait, that's the first team in this Rugby Championship to win a back-to-back game.
Yep.
That's how crazy this Rugby Championship game is.
Yeah.
It took till game 5 for someone to win back-to-back.
Yeah, it is crazy. And there's still a permutation where everyone goes is it 3 for 3? What's the permutation that we can
All right, everyone
get?
can still have 3 wins, 3 losses.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah. If Australia, which I really think they can, Australia
Oh,
beats
I
New Zealand
reckon.
in Perth, and then the horrible, unthinkable, the Pumas beat us at Twickenham. Then
Yeah,
the competition ends threes all around, which would be,
threes all around.
I would be heartbroken, but it would be so cool for rugby in the Southern Hemisphere, but it would break my little heart.
That would be good. Speaking of that Australia New Zealand game,
So
man,
frustrating.
yeah, I want to hear what you thought of that game. So obviously didn't watch
If
it together.
I was Australian, I would be drinking Monster and punching walls. That would
Yeah,
be that would be what I would do, because I think New Zealand played a great game of rugby, but I think Australia matched them, if not were better than them at certain points in the game.
it's a big call. Yeah,
But then something happened at halftime, and what Australia was doing wasn't clicking anymore, and the
yeah,
things that New Zealand was doing was clicking. And I think the big thing that I noticed the difference between them in the first and the second half was the number of penalties Australia was giving away in the second half. And I
100%.
I don't, looking at it, obviously as a neutral, I don't think you can look at the ref in the situation and say there was a change in the refereeing style. I just think that the pressure New Zealand was putting on Australia was a little
Yeah,
too much for them to handle. Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
in the second. Yeah.
Was any standout players for you in that game?
Uh, I think what's her name, actually, O'Connor had a fantastic game.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, yeah, he missed a couple of penalties and stuff. Sorry, my voice is going all weird
yeah,
here.
but I'm talking about the open field. Uh, the player for me that stands out in every freaking game that I land up watching these days is Damien McKenzie.
Yeah, he's good. I liked
Besides Will
Cam
Jordan, I
Roigard
think
did
he's
well. Good.
who?
Cam
Roigard?
Roigard, there's Scrummy. He did well.
But besides Will Jordan, I think Damien McKenzie is New Zealand's best player in the back line. You get,
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting because I reckon he's going to be starting because Barrett was in a sling after the game, so I don't see him playing. So I reckon it's going to be that. Yeah, that match in Perth is going to be a goodie. I'm really keen for that game.
I think
I'm
Australia
excited.
have it in them, Chad. I think they have it in them.
I think they
And
can. I
if
believe.
if the post on Cut the Cuck is correct, that would put New Zealand in third. I don't know when I've
Interesting.
seen New Zealand in third in a long time at the end of the Rugby Championship.
Yeah, that's right. They'll drop down to third. So that leaves
And
South Africa first, Australia second, New Zealand third. Fuck, it's such
oh
a
my goodness.
close rugby championship.
But just saying that is outrageous. It's always
Yeah,
between someone else in New Zealand to win the Rugby Championship. I
yeah,
mean, it still is, because technically any one of the three can win it. Argentina's out of it at the moment, but they can still make it hard for us to win it. But it's just, I don't know. I've just, ever since the British and Irish Lions tour of Australia, I think Australian rugby has an extra gear somewhere. They just can't
hmm
continuously hit those RPMs, and I think they're almost there. And if
yeah,
it can happen in Perth, man, it would be huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely going to be supporting the Wallabies this weekend for that game. It's going
As
to be
as much as it hurts, I'm going to be doing it.
yeah. I mean, and they're going to have it's obviously Slipper's last game, which will be a
Big
big
for
one.
them.
So
Yeah.
like for the team, everyone want to win for him, as they always want to win, but a little bit more
A little
fuel to that
extra,
fire.
little more
Will
sauce.
Skelton's going to be back. They can have their players back. So um, It's going to be. I'm keen.
I can't wait to. I love watching Will Skelton just because
Yeah,
he's a giant amongst giants.
yeah. He just causes absolute cuck for the fun of it.
Oh, one thing I wanted to add when we were talking about when I said Will Jordan and Mackenzie being some of the best players on the All Black side. Artie Sevilla
Yeah,
is superhuman
yeah,
because even when he gets tackled, he's not tackled yet. That
yeah,
you have to make sure that he's flat before you decide to do anything else because he's
yeah,
got this leg drive that he could be this far off the ground and he's still leg driving forward. It's insane.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's
he's great.
he's in. Yeah, he's cooked. He's so good.
It's so good.
It's hard.
And
You can't not like the Oak either. He's such a nice guy.
yeah, yeah, it
Like,
pisses
there's
me off when he
nothing
plays well
you
against
can't
us.
hate him.
No,
Yeah,
but then you're like, oh, but it's Artie.
yeah. It's okay. We understand. It's one of us.
Yeah, like I wish he wasn't as good, but it's Artie.
Yeah.
And then since he started playing for Moana Pacifica
One.
in Super Rugby, all of a sudden he's a winger because he's got chip kicks, he's got
Yeah.
steps. He went to Moana and he just decided, you know what? I know there's a number 6 or a number 7 on my back, but 13 and 14 can get some too.
Yeah. No, he's not bad. We can keep him.
No, we can keep him. I'd love to see him on a sevens field.
Oof. To watch it, yeah. Wouldn't like to be on the receiving end of it.
No, absolutely not. Zero chance I want to be on the other end of that, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
All right,
So
Chad. That was last week.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about our lovely squad, which I've so graciously lost? That was just in front of me.
It's fine. I've got it up. I'll start. Not a lot of changes.
No.
I would say the big one, Oxen Chair, comes back and starts. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like some of the scrum penalties are kind of 50-50 at this point. Because there used to be some things that would be like a clear indicator. The prop's elbow hits the ground first, or the prop's knee hits the ground first, or there's a loss in bind, or you can see the shoulder scrumming in. Those used to be clear and obvious, and you would know who the penalty is going to. Now the prop can drop his elbow, and all of a sudden it's the other team's penalty, and you're like, I don't actually know what happened anymore because sometimes the referee doesn't even say what the penalty's for. He just goes scrum penalty, play on. Like, what's happening?
I've been in a scrum once in my entire life, and
I played
hated
hooker,
it.
but I mean, when I played, they still said crouch, touch, pause, engage. So,
Yeah.
so don't come to me looking for advice.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a lot of it. I get what you're saying. But I mean, even the game that we had with Angus in that first half, that first scrum should have been a penalty to us. Reset it, and then we've eventually got the penalty because we did exactly the same thing.
And that's the other thing. The resetting of scrums when it should have been an obvious penalty.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like they're trying to take the scrum out of the game, which is
Well, there is a rugby division for that. It's called Rugby League. If you don't like the scrums, then go watch Rugby League, and it's a fast-paced game, and you can enjoy it. But the reason Union is so good is because you've got these oaks, you got these oaks, and you got these oaks, and they all play on the same team.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Let's have a look here. The other big change, even starts. Right after backline's the same. No changes there. Oh, the big change. Guess who is on the bench? Bongi.
I know. I'm excited for Bongi to be back. It's such a Bongi and Ox fan. Fucking
Love
love
them.
him.
Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to
I'm
see
keen
Bongi
to
back. Oh,
see.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm keen to see Bongi come off that bench and have some impact because he's been out for a while, so it'll be good to have him in.
I wanted to get his name because I don't want to get the name wrong. Who was the who came off the bench for us at hooker in the last 2 games?
Was it Bone Venter?
I wanted to say young Hendrik Wessels, but I don't think that's right.
Yeah,
I
true.
can't find
it. Was all I can think about that last game is Sasha, to be honest. Marco van Staden.
That's what it was. Marco van Staden, who's played flank for us before, can also play in at hooker. But to have Bongi back is so big. Then you got Jan Hendrik Wessels, Wilco Low, Snyman, Quagga Smith, Morne van Rensburg, the scrum half. I did get it right, eh? Morne van Rensburg?
Vandenberg.
Vandenberg, not van Rensburg. Sorry, Morne. Jammer hoor. He had a great game.
I'm surprised.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Injured. I don't know why he's not in.
But happy
I would
to
have had
Grant
him.
Back.
Yeah, 100%. Grant's he's been playing really well. I would have rather had Morne van den Berg starting and Grant Williams coming off the bench. We should do a thing where before the
go ahead.
I was gonna say we should do a thing like way before. Oh, it's so difficult because Rusty names his team so early in the week. We should record it like something like 10 minutes of us doing a team prediction.
Us picking the squad for Rusty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not this competition is almost over, but we've got the end of year.
We can
internationals.
Because I was kind of hoping, and I knew it was a fucking long shot. My dream backline would have been. I'm gonna look down just because I'm gonna get these names right. I would have had Grant Williams at 9, Sasha at 10, Ethan Hooker at 11, Damien Willemse at 12, Caden Moody at 13, Ches and Colby at 14, and then maybe put in like a Marnie at fullback.
If you had it your way, you'd have Fussy at fullback.
Yeah, but he's got a broken fucking leg. But yeah, if he was like willing and able to, I would have had Fussy at the back. Can you imagine?
I've got a question for you then. I got a question for you then. When Kurtley Arends is back from injury, do you still keep Ethan Hooker or do you put Kurtley in?
It's a great one.
I would say before this Rugby Championship, I would put Kurtley in over almost anybody. But the way Ethan Hooker has like emphasized the new style of play for the Springboks, he's perfect. He's perfect for the position.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Got such good players there. Yeah. As a Sharks fan, 100% keep him in. As a rugby fan, it's such a tough one. Because Kurtley's also. No, that's that.
I'm not ready to talk to URC yet.
No, let's keep talking about the Boks.
But how good they are.
Stoked with the team. I think the team's really, really good. This, the minimal changes. The only one I thought, because Corvus he's done really well. I'm not he's got the ball out really quick and he's got the ball into the spaces that it needs to be. He's also knocked the ball on heaps.
Even the commentator had a jab at him. Oh, we scored a try, and the commentator goes, "Oh, they're going to need to check it just in case Corvus knocked it on."
Yeah, but it's because it's just been been a consistent thing with him over the last 2 games.
Yeah, but he's good. It's just he's had a few unfortunate errors. What I did find funny when I watched the highlights back for Mornay's try. He picked it up and it looked as if he wanted to get rid of it, but standing right next to him was RG Snyman. And Snyman kind of just grabbed him and threw him forward.
Pushed it. Yeah. He's like, you will score this one.
Score now.
Yeah.
That was a funny moment, I noticed. I want to get your predictions because you always ask me to predict shit, and I almost had it right. If Australia was slightly better and New Zealand weren't as good as they always are, I would have got it right.
If Australia was better disciplined in that second half, they would have won that game.
Yep. See, but again, I don't know if it was poor discipline by Australia or if it was New Zealand finding a new gear and Australia not able to keep up with.
Yeah, true. It was, could have been either way. Better column A, better column B, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. But I want to hear your predictions.
Predictions. So I reckon the BOKS are going to win. I don't think it's going to be by another 37 points. I think it's probably going to be 10 to 15 points to the BOKS. And I reckon Australia is going to do it by, I reckon it's going to be close, but I think it'll be about 7. I think they'll do it by 1 try.
Interesting. Okay. I'm close with you on those predictions. I think it's going to be South Africa by like 17, 18, something like that.
Yep.
And then for the Australia game, I've got somewhere between 9 and 11.
Oh, so bigger. Okay. I'm almost more excited for that game, the first game, the Australia versus New Zealand game, than I am for our game.
No.
I kind of am. Just because
I'm only excited because I think Australia can do it.
And that's what makes it so exciting. I feel like it can happen.
Because it's the first time in a long time where I'm watching Australia play New Zealand and I'm not going, oh, please can Australia pull off the miracle win. I'm going, I think these guys can do it. I actually think these guys can do it. Like if they win, it won't be a miracle. It will be a well-deserved win from Australia.
100%. Yeah, no, it will be. Especially like thinking from where they've come from. If you think back 18 months ago, they were...
Just go back to immediately after the Rugby World Cup to where we are today.
Yeah. Wildly different team. Crazy. So I know the Wallabies, every single one of them probably watch the show. Go get them, boys.
Go get them, boys.
We'll be supporting. We've got your back.
I'm sure every one of them watches the show. Shut up, Chad. No, I'm excited.
That's it. So we both, at least we both agree. We don't agree often. So the BOKS and Australia to win.
Now, if you're one of those people on TikTok who take our advice seriously and go gamble on the nonsense that we give you, my advice to you would be don't listen to us about anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Other rugby that happened over the weekend. The women's rugby final. I want to talk about the women first before we jump into the URC. If you don't know the results, New Zealand took third by beating France. England beat Canada. England won the Rugby World Cup. The only thing I thought was unfortunate, and this is probably just because I'm South African, was that the ladies' final was at the same time as Springboks versus Argentina. And I'm sorry, ladies, I know it was a Rugby World Cup final, but I'm watching the box. And I'm curious to know what would have been the viewership numbers if the game wasn't on during a Springbok game.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch it. I caught some of it, but I didn't watch it. I would have loved to. We spoke about watching it.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah, we spoke about watching it. I think we were pretty pumped for it. And then I made the connection that it's on during the Springbok game. And I was like, well.
Yeah. I mean, they still did pretty well. They had at the stadium, 1,000 people.
Oh, I saw a stat today. I can't remember which World Cup it was. But they had the I think I might have posted it on Cut the Cut. It was the number of people in the stadium for like the 2000 and something Women's World
7.
Cup, and it had 11,000 people at the final. And then you fast forward to 2025,
Oh,
and you got 81,000 people live at the
wow.
stadium. That's a 70,000 human being difference in a matter of years. And I think we've said
Yeah.
it 1,000 times on the show, and we'll say it again. Congratulations on growing the women's game in rugby in the way that they have
Yeah.
to reach what they've done. Because it's like you said last week, they didn't do it with the blueprint that the men followed. They created their own blueprint, and if the numbers speak for themselves, it was incredibly successful.
Yeah. No. Good them. I'm keen to watch more women's rugby, but I do have a question that I just thought about
Hit me.
there. If the women's Springboks had made it to the final, which game would you have tuned into?
Oh, that's a rough question because I'll tell you why. Let me tell you where my head's at. The immediate answer that wanted to come out of my mouth was Springboks versus Argentina. Obviously, hands down, no questions asked. But then there's also the excitement of watching something historical and having won the Women's Rugby World Cup final with that many people in the stadium is historical to watch on its own. But then it would have been the first final that the women's we still don't have a name for them. The South African women's rugby team would have been the first final they would have been in. And then we also know that South Africa as a rugby team have never lost in a Rugby World Cup final. So I'd love to see if they can continue that trend. And then if they were to win it, of course I would have wanted to watch all 90 minutes because that's something you'd always want to remember.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I don't know. That's so hard and rude to say. All I would say is next time, don't schedule them at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. I would have, yeah. If it was me, I would have found a way to have both games on. But that even then, you're still not. You can't watch.
No,
two
then
games.
you're not watching either. You're watching both, but you're not watching either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'll remember the highlights from each, but you won't remember the whole game. No.
Yeah. I'd go to work on Monday. Both my eyes would be checking at different directions. It'd be like a chameleon.
Let's see here. Chad, we haven't even touched
URC?
on the URC yet.
I know. We got asked about it last week, so
I'll give you my opinion on how the first week went. I didn't watch all the games. I watched bits and pieces of the South African games. I watched a little bit of every one of the South African games. So I caught the second half of Stormers Leinster, and when I turned it on, I looked at the score and I thought I had opened up the wrong game. It was 35-0 to the Stormers against Leinster. Now,
yeah.
I can understand first game of the season away from home may not be as ready. I don't think you can count Leinster out just based off this result.
No, absolutely not.
Whoever they play next week, they'll probably thrash them. I haven't even looked at the fixtures yet. Then the Bulls came back.
On that one.
Yeah?
That was the Stormers started out all of their Springboks either. There was no Sasha there. There was no.
Well, that's the same for all these South African teams. The only one with Lions had like Nkabakanye back because he didn't obviously travel. Sharks lost to Glasgow, which if you look at last season, not a surprise result. Unfortunate for the Sharks, but not a surprise. Again, as you're going off that train of thought, I would say the majority of the Sharks starters are Springboks. Then the Bulls came back from behind. Against the Ospreys.
I enjoyed that game.
Yeah, good game. I was shocked at what the score was for the Bulls when I turned it on because they were behind quite quite a lot.
Mm.
Then Ospreys got those yellow cards, and the Bulls just decided, all right, we're going to win the game now.
Yeah, it feels like that
The
altitude
Lions,
came into play. I don't know.
the Lions didn't show up for that game against Cardiff. I don't have anything else to say. I'm a Lions fan. I would love to see them do well. Looking at the Lions squad this year, pretty stacked. Not as stacked as the 2018, 2019 Lions team from Super Rugby, but still a really good team. They just didn't show up at Cardiff. Hoping it's a Leinster situation. We'll fix ourselves for next week. That's all I got on the URC. I'll watch it.
It's so difficult to watch all the games. It's 8 games over the week. It's your whole weekend's dedicated. I mean, what a problem to have.
I was gonna say it's the oh no, I gotta watch good rugby.
I saw someone on, I think it was TikTok, saying that they should do like a relegation for whoever wins the Curry Cup should go into the URC, and whoever's like the lowest performing South African team gets.
I've always liked that idea.
Griquas would have been. Griquas was Scarfin.
We did it a little bit in Super Rugby. We did it that one year where the Southern Kings came into Super Rugby,
Kings, yeah.
and I think the Lions were out for a season. Or was it the Cheetahs, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
It was the Cheetahs. The Cheetahs were out for a season.
Someone.
Southern Kings were in, yeah. I like it. I think it gives the smaller clubs something to play for. And I think it's a lesson for the team that's in there that ends up last. You got to be better. You just got to be better. But I do think
we say that, but the Oaks that win the Curry Cup are normally the Sharks, Lions, Stormers, and it's normally the big teams.
Well,
anyway.
So I wouldn't say it should be the Curry Cup, because even like the Sharks team that plays in the URC is not the same players that's playing in the Curry Cup. Just because of all the other internationals that is going on around the same time. All your international players are pulled out of those clubs. But I think it should be the highest ranking non-URC team should play the lowest ranking URC team, and the winner of that game stays in the URC or goes to the URC. I don't think it should be if you're at the bottom of the URC and you win the Curry Cup, then you're automatically in, because I would say on most days, the URC Lions team would have beat the Griquas in the final. On most days.
Yeah.
Not that day, but on most days.
Not that day. Not that day after the Hutu went.
2 years in a row for last minute kick.
Yeah. But it was exciting watching, because I've been watching lots of NPC here, so that's our Curry Cup that's coming down to the pointy end. But then watching the URC, very different rugby, very different rugby. It's crazy. But not just in like
slower, the URC rugby. I think URC is slower. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much more physical, so much more. It is light and day. Yeah, it is a little bit slow, but yeah, it's just really different to watch. It's good.
But there's been a lot of talk about it, how having the South African teams in the URC has improved all of those that are they're playing against. So it's improved Welsh rugby, it's improved Scottish and Irish rugby, having that constant exposure to the South African teams. And also it's improved the South African teams being exposed to this different style of Northern Hemisphere rugby on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's good. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here long term with the Kiwi teams not having that much exposure. But I suppose they kind of fixing it with the greatest rivalry that's happening next year. So the New Zealand's coming over for their 3-match. And they play against the Curry Cup teams and all those things. So that'll be. But that's. Yeah.
I know that the fixtures don't align, and I know that adding more teams for it and more travel would make it completely unrealistic. Excuse me. But the Heineken Cup, how interesting would it be to throw in a few of the Southern Hemisphere club teams into that competition? I think the only way you can
I
do
would
that is
love
if
to.
you go ahead.
Sorry, you go. No, you go.
As I said, the only way you can do that is if you don't have any games in Australia or in New Zealand. So it will only be away games for the Southern Hemisphere teams. But I think it would be so interesting to see them in the Heineken Cup or the Investec Cup or whatever fuck it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
I would love to see a World Cup for clubs.
A World Club.
Once a year you get
World Cup World Club Cup. Club World Cup, Jesus.
World Cup clubs.
No, Club
I
World
would
Cup.
love to see, even if it's the top, I don't know, top 2 teams from each
nation.
country after their seasons finish.
Yeah.
Head out and maybe it travels around the world and stuff.
Or to do what they do in sevens. You pick one country. Well, no, you can't have them all in the same stadium. That pitch would look like...
I was going to say that pitch will be like mud.
That pitch can look like Vista High at the end of it. What are you talking about? No, but you pick one country.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
You can play 2 games in a stadium in a day.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I like the idea, but again, if you look at their schedules, where do you throw it in? You have to get rid of something else. Although you could also be Peter Steph Toy, and I saw the stat today. He hasn't played for his club team in 500 days.
I saw. That's cool.
But he's started
well,
like 75% of the Springbok games.
Yeah, and played them like full 80 minutes. Yeah, definitely priorities there.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
Chad, I think that's it. I think we've cut all the cuck that needs to be cut. Unless any final remarks on last week, this week, URC, Women's Rugby World Cup, Bafana Bafana getting short shafted, whatever any other comments?
No, I'm all good. It's good to be back-to-back Rugby World Cup champions and Rugby Championship champions back-to-back, baby.
It sounds so right, but it also sounds so arrogant at the same time.
It's gonna happen. There's a lot would have to go wrong for us to lose this. I think we've already got one hand on the trophy. Actually, true. I wonder where the trophy, because there is still a way that New Zealand can win. So I wonder where Australia is actually going to be.
Anyone can win it except for Argentina.
Yeah,
crazy.
It doesn't. Not really. It's we've got it. It's ours.
I mean, I agree with you.
We're not losing
but it's not set in stone.
Yeah.
You could get 2 Chad and Colby drop goal off the post tries for Argentina.
God, can you imagine that happens again? I don't think we'll ever see that happen ever again.
I don't think anyone's ever going to kick the ball in the goal line ever again. And if the Oka needs to kick it on the other side, then you give it to the hook and it's never going to be kicked ever again.
Yeah, I feel like Chesson will hold the ball in both hands and pass it.
And walk over to him and let him take it from him. Backwards as well, just in case so there's no knock on or forward pass by mistake.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's cut the cuck. If you laughed, shouted, or got mad at us, just that's on you. Hit subscribe, like us, follow us. It's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the cool kids are getting up to these days. If you like the content, and come back for more. Unfortunately, you have to look at Chad on a regular basis. Now you're just looking for cuck. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you aren't watching, then that's on you. Thanks, Chad.